Welcome back, and I'm so glad that you're here. Join me today as I share a day of slow, simple, and intentional living. I hope this video brings you peace, comfort, encouragement, or inspiration, no matter what walk of life you're currently going through. Since moving to this area about 3 years ago, it was a dream of ours to one day be picking berries off of our own property, and finally that day is here. It's been 3 years, which gave all the things that we planted enough time to get established. Obviously not all of the fruit trees, but at least the raspberries and the blueberries and the strawberries. But things like the apple trees, they're just now this year bearing a little bit of fruit. So that's been exciting to see, because it takes quite a while for apple trees and other fruit trees to start bearing fruit. So it does take a little bit of patience. So they're finally bearing fruit, and we are getting to enjoy the fruit of our labor. And over the years, they just produce more and more. So it's been really fun for the past 2 summers going out there and picking these berries. And we love to use them for our breakfast pancakes. Last summer, we were only able to get about a handful a week probably. And this year, we're able to get a whole lot more. So that's been really exciting, and we've been really happy about that. This is definitely one of our favorite and biggest accomplishments, was just buying this property with just nothing on it, just grass and the established trees in the back, but they weren't like fruit trees or anything like that. So just getting this bare lawn and just planting all these wonderful things for our family to use as food and to enjoy. It's just so rewarding. So this morning I made a plain old Dutch baby pancake, which I make a lot of weekly. I make it 2 to 3 times a week just because it's delicious, everyone enjoys it, and it's so easy to make and feed a large family like ours. Not to mention, it's a wonderful way to use up our abundance of eggs, especially now that it's spring and summertime is coming. Our hens are just laying like crazy, so I'm having to use eggs daily, like a dozen a day. But it's been great, and our family loves eggs, so that's definitely not a problem. So today I am making a sourdough discard banana bread. I love having a bunch of and a variety of sourdough discard recipes on hand, because I constantly have a lot of discard left over, and I love to incorporate sourdough into everything that I make. And I've been learning more and more recipes lately, just because I feel like just adding that sourdough discard makes the recipe a little bit healthier and a little bit better for your gut health. So I've been really diving into all sorts of sourdough discard recipes and just really trying to convert any baked good that I make into a sourdough one whenever possible. So the day that I filmed this banana bread, I was actually making this for church, because we had our Wednesday night Bible study, and before Bible study we have a potluck every single Wednesday. And so I was just making this banana bread for our potluck, and I'm glad I snuck a little piece for myself before I set the tray down because the sourdough discard banana bread disappeared pretty quickly. The whole thing was gone and it seems like people enjoyed it. So this is a great thing to have on hand when you're going somewhere or maybe you're having some company over. This is really easy to just throw together. It bakes for about an hour and then it's just really enjoyable with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or maybe even a glass of fresh milk. So in my family, the kids and I love chocolate chips in our banana bread and my husband loves pecans. So for this banana bread, I threw in both of them so we can both equally enjoy this bread. There's this idea around women being homemakers that somehow we are slaves and are being mistreated for tending to the home. This is not the case at all, and when done right, homemaking is actually quite fulfilling. Just as my husband works and provides for us financially, I work and provide a cozy, warm atmosphere. If everyone lived in a dirty, chaotic mess where there was no food and nothing was done, then no one would want to be there. And I'm sure my husband wouldn't be as motivated to work hard and provide. But in this, we are a team. I create warmth and beauty, provide wholesome foods and meals, use our resources efficiently, and he provides everything I need to be able to do these things. In today's world, everything is just mixed and confused and chaotic. People don't know what's what anymore, and I think it's more important than ever for fathers to be strong leaders and mothers to be nurturing, loving women who take good care of their homes, who raise up their children in a godly environment, and this is the role of both the father and the mother, or husband and wife. I don't believe that either role is more important than the other. I believe that God made them equally important. They're just very different. Some things that my husband is responsible for and likes to do, like provide and lead, I am the softer version of that, and I was not meant to do that. I was meant to nurture and care and feed. My roles are not the same as my husband's, and I think that that's where things got very confused in today's culture, is that people started labeling some things as more important than others. And this just simply is very not true. Men and women have very, very different roles, and they are both equally important, and they go hand in hand, and one cannot function without the other. We need each other. The way that God made us, the way the Bible instructs us, for men to lead and women to be the loving hands in the home. Of course, I understand that this kind of life is not achievable for everyone, and many people have different set of circumstances, but I do want to point out that as a society as a whole, maybe there are some areas where we definitely should be rethinking the way things have been done for the past several decades. And I want to make a point that I believe that family-focused lifestyles should not be discouraged as they seem to be in today's world. So all that being said, what are my roles as a homemaker? Well, I believe my job is to cultivate a healthy and happy home. And I'm speaking on mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, and physically healthy. I believe that homemakers have the privilege of being able to do all of these things. So to start with physical health, some changes that I made in my household was I transitioned our entire family onto raw dairy, which is actually really, really good for you. And I started implementing vitamins and supplements into our family's diet. Then I switched from store-bought bread to homemade sourdough bread. We're no longer buying store-bought bread. I started making homemade bone broth, working on implementing more fermented foods into our diet, such as sauerkraut, yogurt, sourdough. So these are all wonderful places to start and things that I started doing for my family. I definitely still have a long road ahead. I'm learning new things every single day on how to effectively and productively run my household and make sure that my family's health is top priority. If you're someone who doesn't think you have it in you to switch your family to all these homemade, scratch-made meals, then I just want to share with you that years ago, I was not cooking a lot at home or preparing much of anything from scratch. But now, years later, it took me quite a bit of time to build this up. But now, at this point of our lives, I am making most everything from scratch and everything is practically homemade. And now I'm making homemade mayo, homemade ranch, barbecue sauce, Alfredo sauce, things that I never pictured I'd be making from scratch. Now I'm making them from scratch, and it just takes one little thing at a time, one little step each day or each week or each month or even year. Try picking up something new a little bit at a time. And this is really the only healthy way to do it. I remember when I started having this desire to pursue a wholesome, healthy lifestyle for me and my family, I wanted to do all the things, but it got really overwhelming. So what I did was I took 1 year to really focus on learning homeschooling. And my mom was helping me with the garden a lot. That very first year when I knew nothing about gardening, I was fully focusing on homeschool. Then the second year, I was already familiar with homeschool. I focused on learning everything I could about gardening. Then I picked up knowledge on homemade remedies for illnesses and essential oils, things like that, because I wanted to learn all these things. But if you just start all of it right away, it's going to get overwhelming and you're most likely going to quit. So I really just took it year by year. So I learned homeschooling, gardening, essential oils, and holistic health, then sourdough. I'm so glad I realized that from the beginning, that you cannot just start everything at once. It will be so overwhelming. I mean, some women are just amazing and they're able to do all of that at one time. And I think that's awesome. But for me personally, I cannot function like that. I have to take it easy and take it step by step, one thing at a time, for me to really learn and not to just get overwhelmed and quit and give up altogether. And because I took things very slowly, I gave myself grace. I gave myself time to learn all these things one step at a time. Now I do all of these things combined very comfortably. And that's only because I learned each one separately, step by step. So make sure to not overwhelm yourself. This lifestyle is achievable, but you definitely have to start slow and steady. I've had some women share with me that they don't particularly enjoy homemaking and homeschooling, but they want to. And my encouragement to them is always just start, and then you will just learn to love it, especially if you pray for God to give you that desire to love and serve your home and family. And also, the more you do it and the more you see how it impacts your loved ones, it's going to give you that desire and that push to keep on going forth.